Hello everyone. Excuse the noise, it's raining, it's 3:30 in the morning, and I got the heat running on my car. I'm Angelo. I've been living in my car for just over 7 weeks now, and I found a place to park, and I'm going to sleep here. I got off work around 2:30 this morning, and this video is about what do you do when you hate your job? And the answer is, how the hell would I know? I don't have a fucking clue what to do. I don't hate my job. I've been at it for 5 years, or a little over 5 years now. What I don't like is I'm in such a bad mood constantly when I'm there because I'm just stagnating. I don't take it out on people, don't get me wrong. I'm not like a hard ass at work at all. I'm very nice, very friendly to people. I always say, hey, how you doing? I always try and say good night. You know, if there's anything I need to discuss with people, I always try and do it in a direct, honest, friendly way that, you know, shows I'm not like antagonistic at all. But what I don't like is I'm just stagnating. I'm just standing there. For me, being a bouncer means just standing by the door, checking IDs. Like different clubs and bars, bouncers' roles can be a little different. But I'm mostly just checking IDs. Then just standing around watching people and just watching, just making sure people getting along, nothing illegal's happening, no one's falling over drunk, no one's fighting. That's it. And for the most part, that's not an issue because most people aren't trying to go out and cause pain or feel pain. They're just trying to enjoy themselves. So that's a good part of the job, is I'm in a relaxed environment. But I'm in such a bad mood. I have no desire to talk to people. I don't want to make any friends. I don't want to tell anyone anything about myself. I have to strain myself to get myself to want to talk to people. It's not that I hate talking to every single person. Like, there's certain regulars there, I get along with. Some I have little conversations with. Sometimes I'll talk to my coworkers. But for the most part, I don't want my coworkers to know anything about me. They have found my videos, and I think they all just kind of forgot about them shortly afterwards because I never made a point to talk about them. I let them know, this is separate from work. I don't want this to be something, people are fixated on at work. And it was funny because once people found out, I guess they found the rice pudding cook-off I did with my mom. They were saying, oh, yo, Chef Angelo. And they were telling the customers, too, the regulars. So one time I was outside arguing with this guy for an hour trying to get him to pay his bill, and he had no ability to pay. He had 3 dead credit cards. But I was trying to get him to pay. I was talking to him, arguing with him. Then this guy, a regular, walks outside and says, yo, Chef Angelo. I'm like, that's not me. He's like, yeah, that's you. He's gonna smoke a cigarette. But I don't hate the actual job. It's the only job I've been able to hold this long. I've never held a job for more than about 22 months before. I worked at a movie theater. That was my first job, 19 to 20. It was very stressful. I worked very hard at that job. We'd be extremely busy, and I wasn't paid nearly as well as I am now. For a more relaxed job where I'm around people who treat me much better. I worked at a bank. I was a bank teller for 20 months before I had nothing more. I learned from that job, and it's after a while I'm I have nothing more I can learn from this. I don't want to do it anymore. And then I went into kind of a menial labor job, just washing cars, driving people around for Enterprise Rent-A-Car. That was in a way the best job I ever had, except gradually all the smart employees were replaced by angry, selfish, racist people, and just jerks. And managers drove horribly, illegally, all the time, cutting people off, speeding, turning from the middle lane, turning left to cut people off, all kinds of horrible habits, tailgating people, and they didn't care about having good lot attendance, which is what I did. Anyways, so I quit that. I nearly got in a fist fight with one coworker, and then I got in an argument with him again, and I just walked off the job and quit that day. It's screw this. I'm not dealing with it anymore. And then I did videography for a while, and I got sick for 9 months, and I got the job I have. Well, I bounced at a few places, but 2 of the places I quit, or one actually, they kind of just let me go because they were about to fail as a business anyways. They didn't need bouncers. They're like, we're putting you on reserve, because basically they didn't want me to do anything, which was kind of cool. I didn't even have to check IDs. They didn't want me to turn people away if they didn't have ID. So there was really nothing I had to do. We barely had customers. In a way, it was really cool. Nice little comfortable job. Although the food and the servers were not good, and the managers didn't seem to care, and they went out of business. Anyway, but the place I'm at now, they treat me well. It's a good place. They pay me well. Like, I'm valued, at my job. It's just, I have no desire to talk to anybody. And okay, what do you do when you hate your job? Man, I don't know. I've looked at so many other jobs, realized I don't really want any other one. A lot of jobs pay horribly. A lot of jobs, you realize you'll be paid horribly, and they expect the job to be your life. And I don't like the idea of like a hierarchy at work where you're someone's employer or employee, and they have some position over you. I could never bring myself to go when I worked at Enterprise to these company parties. Like, they had one while I was there, I think 1 or 2. I can't go. Like, the class division, I didn't quite know how to articulate it, but now I can see the class division. It's embarrassing for me to be around people who make way more money than me, or have totally different jobs. Their job is to oversee me, and if I don't do what they want, they'll fire me. And to hang around with them like they're my captors in a way. It's like, how could I bring myself to do that? And I was also growing cynical to the point where I am now. Before, I used to always tell people what I did outside work. I didn't mind doing that. Now I don't talk about it at all. I have one coworker I talk to. I tell him stuff, but even then, I don't share stuff about the videos because it's just totally not his world. I don't talk about movies much, so I wouldn't want to, because everybody has stuff to focus on. It's not. I have no need or business trying to get them to, want to focus on stuff I'm interested in. I realize I have to be at somewhere else, doing something film related, if I'm going to be really turned on and excited, by my environment. I don't know what to do. People hate their jobs. Most people probably hate their jobs. If they don't hate them, they at least don't love them. Or like me, I don't hate my job. That I'm in such a bad mood when I'm at work because I'm just stagnating. I'm just standing around. Even if there's someone, people I'm interested in hearing from or talking to, or whoever, I don't want to share anything. Because I know I'm just standing around waiting until work. So it's not that I'm like desperately hoping work will end too. That's how I felt at the bank when I was always waiting till the end of the day. It's not like I get off work now and I'm like, oh, thank goodness. No, it's fine. No big deal. This is the most laid back job I've ever had. It's basically my job to be like a good friend to people. Just, be nice if they need help or if they need any correction or anything. Just tell them, hey, you can't do that, can't sit up there, can't whatever. But I don't know what people can do. You obviously need some job skills, or, need to have some kind of education for a lot of jobs, which I don't have. And also, school was never for me. That's a different video. I gotta think about that one too. I don't know what there is really to say other than if school's not for you, you gotta work really hard at getting what you want and constantly educate yourself. There you go. That's that video. Because school wasn't for me. I didn't particularly apply myself very hard. I got by not applying myself. I wasn't a bad student. I was aware of that, as long as I behave and I'm respectful, that gets you far. with teachers, and other than that, just kept to myself and didn't really care. I didn't care about school. It didn't matter to me. It wasn't for me. I didn't learn much ever in school. It's basically, it was there for me to like just learn how to socialize, which was not that easy for me either. But that's how you learn to socialize, is in school. But I don't know what people do with jobs they hate. I'm lucky that I have YouTube. There's people who hate their jobs and they have no outlet for it. And they're, supporting a family. And they may not be that educated. And they don't know, any avenue to express themselves or feel safe doing it. Or they may be in an abusive job environment. At least I don't have that, and at least I have YouTube as an outlet to express myself. So I don't know what most people can do. It's a horrible proposition for most people, not just America, the whole world. People hate their jobs. Who wants to work? Who wants to put so much time into work like that's where your value comes from? That's not what your value comes from. There's an aspect of that in which you can, see, whether someone's got integrity or not. But that's not just about work. That's how you treat others. That's how you treat yourself. That's how you keep your word. That's how you approach things you really do care about, like want to go pursue and go after. So if you want to be whatever career, and you're not really willing to put in the time to learn that craft, well then you could say, well, this person's like, they're a loser. They have a loser's attitude. You can't take them seriously because they just want to, walk in through the back door. They just want to take the easy way, and they just want to, slowly walk downhill backwards to get into the position that requires expertise. Whatever it is, filmmaker, actor, I'm just thinking about creative stuff, singer, painter, writer, that stuff you do absolutely need to hone your skills at. But as far as like doing a job like working in food service, there's nothing that makes you, have more integrity because you work 40 hours a week and someone else works 20, other than just the fact that you're sacrificing all this time, and it may be a necessary sacrifice given the current, situation where people have to take jobs to pay for necessities and you have to provide for your family. I don't know what the hell to do. Most people don't like their jobs, and a good job can make a huge difference in your mental health and your emotional well-being. Like me and my job, like it affects me after work because I'm like, totally don't want to talk to anybody at work. Just want to keep to myself. But yet I don't want to be like that. And it's hard to force myself to want to talk to people. I have to be in an environment, that's what I learned, is just where, it's conducive to me getting along with people. Even if it's just this, I can be at my job, but not working. I can just be hanging out there, which I don't do much. But I can just come by once in a while, which I do. Once in a rare while, and just go around and just talk to people and hang out. That I can be in a much better mood for. Again, it depends, but even then you can't rely on other people to improve your mood, because even when I do that, and sometimes people are glad to talk to me and women are glad to talk to me, even then I'm like, well, but really I'm this lunatic. So what's there to enjoy talking to me about? And that'll bring my mood down again anyway. So you can't rely on other people for that. A job, sorta, yeah. Because, you can have a sense of fulfillment from doing a job well done, a meaningful job. My job's not very meaningful. I stand around and do nothing. So I'm curious what other people think, because really I just want to hear stories of for some reason, work fascinates me. Hearing about people working makes me laugh. It excites me. It just fascinates. I like the idea of somebody just struggling with something and pursuing or going after something. I just like the idea of hearing those stories. They fascinate me. So tell your stories in the comments of jobs you hate. They just endlessly entertain me. I love characters that struggle with jobs they hate. I love Harold Lloyd movies where he's always these middle-class jobs like Taylor. He plays that in at least 2 movies. He always wants to have some job where he can be successful. He wants to be a writer. He wants to be like a sheriff or a sheriff's deputy with his brothers, but they don't accept him. They think of him as the loser of the family. And he just keeps doggedly pursuing those goals. And of course, it's hilarious, the comedy, and they're beautifully shot and well acted. But anyway, so I'm entertained by those stories. So if nothing else, this video should be a platform for people to just vent about jobs they hate and difficult jobs, and just how, tragic it is that people have to give up part of their dignity to work jobs just to keep living, just to keep paying their bills. It doesn't have to be this way all the time in all ways. I keep noticing steam coming off my car from the cold rain, again, because I got the heat going. Anyways, so leave comments talking about it, but I don't know what the solution is. I mean, for me, I'm pursuing filmmaking. I don't want to talk too much about it. I don't like talking and not doing. Well, I'm talking in all my videos, so that's not the correct phrasing for that. I don't like talking about things that could happen, is what I mean. Like, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make this, or whatever, I'm going to write this, and then there's nothing to show for it. I just got to do it. But that's what I'm interested in, filmmaking. So, hopefully people have better luck out there finding jobs they actually like. The only kind of job outside of film I like is just something that's easy and that's low stress. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. It's just, I don't like the sense of separation also at my job of I'm working, I can't, just relax. Even though I am relaxed, but I can't just relax and hang out with people and talk to them because I always got to be, well, first of all, I'm not interested in doing it. But also the fact that, I don't know if people look at me differently or I look at myself a little differently because I'm the bouncer. So as friendly as I can be, it's like, oh, I'm the guy who's expected to enforce rules. And that's not a big deal. It's not like people like measure, or what's the word? Measure me, or expect me to live up to a stereotype of a bouncer, being ruthless and mean. Because I'm not. As soon as people come in the door, I say, hey, how you doing? And try and be nice and answer any questions. But anyways, it sucks. I got to quit my job. I got to find another job, but I don't want any other job. I just want to find something in film and making my own films. And to that end, I have been doing one thing. I have been going around to cafes and finding cheap drinks. Like hot tea is like $2.50 or $2.75 a lot of places. So I'll go there and leave 1 or 2 of my YouTube cards, which I'll show right now. I've featured them on this channel before because I used to give them away. I don't feel like mailing them out to people now. But these are my cards. My mom on the front. And then just keep it very simple. Angelo's mom. Then a little QR code so you can scan it and pull up the channel on your phone, or just use the link. And this is how you feel when watching the videos. Anyways, I feel good that I'm just leaving those around in some places, and if you're one of those people who find those, leave a comment saying so. Anyways, I'm gonna go to sleep. It's now nearly 4 in the morning. But talk about jobs you hate, or talk about your job, vent about your job in the comments. I thought I'd be doing my job for 1 year and then I'd get rich doing videography. Well, I quit doing videography. Well, I cut it way down, but I quit essentially at one company I was working at about 7 or 8 months into working my current job. And So I realized, okay, that's not going to happen. And I was struggling with YouTube at the time. That was really depressing. Just struggling. I'm grateful for all the support I have now. Because back then I barely had any viewers, and I was just constantly making videos thinking, when is this going to change? When am I going to move out of this hellhole of Annandale? When am I going to be able to quit working this job? And after 5 years, it's hard to believe, and yet every time I go in, it feels like my first time going into work. I don't know why that is. It's not like I'm super excited to go to work. I'm not like dreading going to work. I'm actually glad I have something to go to. But I don't feel like socializing there. That's bad. I'm in a really bad mood. I just don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to make any friends. People come up to me, even if people being friendly with me, I'm just very matter of fact. If they start asking anything that's not specifically work related, or they're trying to joke a little bit, not everybody all the time. Some regulars, I get along with. Some I know a little better. But yeah, for the most part, I'm just like that. Like I have nothing to talk about. I don't feel like talking to anybody. Just leave me alone. So thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe for more videos.